welcome to the penultimate Dopmaster. I am the Dopmaster. This week, the Dops were pitted against one another with a very strict but not adhered to deadline to complete a task which was to do something bad to a colleague at work and then issue the ultimate apology. Let's see how they got on.
Right, the Dopmaster task this week is I done a bad thing. Do a bad thing to a member of staff and then it's the best apology that wins.
I don't really know anyone that well at Frogmore yet, so I'm not convinced that my new friendships are going to survive a pranking. Maybe Mr. Davies will find it funny. He seems chill.
Now I've just got to think about a member of staff that I want to annoy. There's a lot of them. Let's think of which one is going to be my best candidate.
What's a really annoying thing that I could do?
Did you know Mr. Bart's scared of spiders?
Good morning everyone. I think today I'm going to go as an imposter and to be Mr. Horden. I have the signature Harry Potter glasses and the iconic I Care t-shirt. Me and Mini Horden are going to cause some mayhem today. Right, here we go. Gonna do a bad thing.
Luckily, I work in a science department and we have lots of tarantula exoskeletons. Now, Mr. Barfoot's lovely office, where does this belong? Oh, just on entry there. Beautiful.
Just waiting for Mr. Davies to come back to his office to see the havoc that I've created. Waiting. He hasn't come back.
Right, so just a bit of a day in the life of being the head teacher of Frogmore. I've just prepared an assembly to deliver to the staff and the students. I'll give you a guess what it's about. Now, I just wanted to start off with my absolute favourite picture of our growing sprouts.
I've successfully annoyed Mr. Davies by putting post-its everywhere, and I've also tried to be annoying in the car park as well. This is what I've done.
I've now been in Mr. Barfoot's office for at least 10 minutes. Here he is, coming in, Mr. Thomas. Oh my god! Tooney, you absolute what did you do that for? And I had to have Eliza lock me in.
Good morning. Good morning. I just wanted to make a sincere apology for coming into your office and stealing your clothes.
And making fun of my footwear.
I've washed it and ironed it freshly this morning. I've made you a fresh brew just the way you like it.
Marvellous.
And some muffins and a little chocolate egg. And the little Lego man will be on his way back soon. Is this the best apology that I've ever given you?
It's the only apology you've ever given me. I think probably on your knees is better, isn't it?
Is it 100% genuine?
Both knees.
100% genuine?
And a bit of,
I'm really sorry.
We're almost there.
Can you confirm it's 100% genuine?
98.99.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
All right.
No problem. Right. Sorry.
Dear Mr. Davies, yesterday I stuck post-its all over all your things. You didn't find it funny. Forgive me, I have sinned. It really was quite funny to prank an assistant head, but I couldn't leave it there, so I blocked in your car instead. I didn't aim to vandalise, only to annoy. I think I achieved that, but it didn't bring you joy. I'm very, very sorry for being such a jerk. I hope I don't have to avoid you now every day at work.
I think you do.
I think I deserve a round of applause.
Sozzles, what does that even mean? Doesn't even make any sense.
It means sorry. It's a young person speak.
Well, I'm not a young person.
Admit it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Funniest thing ever.
So, how was the apology on a scale of 1 to 10?
1.
Literature.
It was hardly sincere. You ruined my board. It's covered now and it was pristine and clear. I was very proud of it. Now it's got some scody thing on it that I'm going to have to clear off.
This is bad attitude. Mr. Davies actually pulled off the post-its that I put on his laptop that said sorry and wouldn't put them back, so I thought I could take a photo of them, so I've done this to his car, which I think is funny, and also I've done that as well.
Is he still annoyed at me?
Oh, sorry mate, just polishing the Sports Day trophy. What are you doing back in here?
I felt a little
really
bit
welcome.
I felt a little bit sorry about earlier.
Well, I actually had a heart attack. Honestly, the
Well-
spiders weren't appreciated.
Well, I thought long and hard about how I could apologise, Mr. Barfoot,
I even hope so.
and I got you some bits. Well, there's a card.
I would say you didn't need to do this, but you did.
It's a heartfelt card. Don't know if you want to read it.
What now?
Yeah, you can do.
Strange choice of card. Camel looks as sorry as I feel about scaring you. Soz. Soz? Mate, how old are you? Papa Dums. Why? Papa Dums and Sprouts.
I thought now that you're a technology teacher, design tech, I thought you might be able to do something with them.
A little bit of Lego.
Are you feeling how sorry I am?
That's made up for it a bit. I mean, but wow.
I haven't finished.
Oh, good. Mate, we've just gone through months of ice and frost, and now you're getting me an ice scraper.
shit,
Well, I'm not going to need that, am I?
Hungry?
A bit hungrier than that. Not much, is it? It's one bite.
Perhaps you need to think about eating less, sir. That one?
No, that's more like it.
What was Mr. Barfoot like? I thought Nordic oat drink.
Rather beige, isn't it?
I
Can't
did
be
think
too
that
old.
you might want to do some reading.
Sparkle World.
There's also a makeup set.
It's nails. It's nail set.
Same thing. Not finished.
Honest. This feels like the prank is still going on. This doesn't feel like an apology. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, I've got one last present.
That actually is more like it. Now that is what I need. It feels like all of this has been just at room temperature all day as well. Like that's going to make me sick.
Sorry.
Never return.
Well, that was certainly a bit awkward, wasn't it? Let's take them in turn. Firstly, Tuckwell. Well, Mr. Barfoot went all out again, as he always does, and stole some items from Mr. Vorden's office. Brave. The fact that he wore Mr. Vorden's t-shirt on inset day I thought was genius, and I really enjoyed him impersonating Mr. Vorden. And I know Mr. Vorden hasn't seen that yet, so I'm looking forward to him watching the film. Well done, Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Tooney. Mr. Tooney was scuppered by the fact that it was inset day. That rather ruined his plans. In fact, I think picking Mr. Barfoot was probably quite difficult because they're actually friends, and I don't think that Mr. Tooney would really like to upset Mr. Barfoot. And I certainly know that Mr. Barfoot was not going to accept that apology from Mr. Tooney. But I liked the variety of items that he gave. And Mrs. Ashford, well, certainly brave to take on Mr. Davies, especially when she's very new to the school. She clearly hasn't heard of his reputation, but she must have heard his voice booming around the school, surely. Anyway, great effort, even braver to go anywhere near his new car each. And now for this week's scores. In third place, it was always going to be Ormond. Mr. Tooney last week got away with the fact that I mistakenly thought that Mr. Barfoot had been throwing cream at his colleagues. However, on watching a replay of the video, I realised it was Mr. Tooney. So I'm afraid, Mr. Tooney, you're just getting 10 points this week for Ormond. In second place, I'm going with Tuckwell. Mr. Barfoot had made a really great effort and I really did enjoy his prank. But the apology was a little bit creepy and a little bit over the top. I mean, really, crawling around the boss like that, it's not cool. So, Mr. Barfoot gets 20 points. However, I am going to add on an extra 5 points because I love the fact that he dressed as Mr. Borden, and another 5 points because I took some points away last week and accused him of throwing cream, and that wasn't fair. So, Tuckwell gets 30 points. In first place this week is Macmillan. Well done, Mrs. Ashford. You get the full 30 points for being the winner. I really enjoyed your poem and I thought it was well suited to Mr. Davies. I know that he would have appreciated it, and I heard him saying in the staff room that he's actually going to be analysing that poem with his GCSE group, so that's brilliant. And you're going to get an extra 5 points because, let's face it, nobody else in the school would have taken on Mr. Davies and his very bad temper. Excellent work, 35 points. I look forward to seeing you next week for the final Dopmaster. I am the Dopmaster. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.